Ever made a career move that sounded great on paper, but then you actually did it and realized you'd basically traded a slightly uncomfortable chair for a much, much smaller, less comfortable stool? Yeah, well, grab your popcorn because today we're talking about the wrestlers who did just that when they left WWE for AEW, expecting champagne wishes and getting, well, something a little less bubbly. First one on the list is someone we all had high hopes for, Keith Lee. He arrived in AEW in February 2022 with huge expectations and even won the AEW World Tag Team Championship with Swerve Strickland. But after their team split, Lee's momentum stalled. Despite some impressive matches, he's been plagued by health issues, and his last match was in December 2023. He was even pulled from a highly anticipated bout against Swerve Strickland at AEW World's End due to not being medically cleared. The limitless potential he had in WWE hit a brick wall in AEW. We're still scratching our heads about his injury, when he'll return, or frankly, if he's even lacing up his boots anymore. As of the recording of this video, Keith Lee's AEW run, aside from his tag title win with Swerve Strickland, hasn't produced much in terms of memorable moments. He hasn't competed for a world title, hasn't had any particularly engaging or long-standing feuds that captivated audiences, and has largely been absent from programming. His presence in AEW has become characterized by his disappearance from television due to health issues, leaving fans unsure of his status or potential return. Next on our list is a shocking one, because I would have never dreamt that this wrestler would make it onto such a list, given the Hall of Fame career he built elsewhere. We're talking about the rated R superstar himself, Edge, or as he's known in AEW, Adam Copeland. Now, before you start yelling at your screens, yes, he has won the TNT Championship, and his feud with Christian Cage was, at times, compelling. But when you look at the immense legacy he carved out in WWE and the promise that came with a wrestler of his caliber jumping ship, his AEW tenure has largely felt underwhelming. For a multi-time world champion and a certified main event draw, his impact has been surprisingly limited. He hasn't been in the world title picture, and outside of Christian, his feuds haven't really set the world on fire or created new stars. It feels like we're seeing glimpses of the ultimate opportunist, but not the consistent, world-shaking presence we know he can be. Let's rewind to Edge's electrifying return to WWE at the 2020 Royal Rumble. After a 9-year career-ending hiatus due to a severe neck injury, his comeback was nothing short of miraculous and instantly felt like a main event act. In his subsequent WWE run, he wasn't just a nostalgia act, he was a top-tier performer. He won the 2021 Royal Rumble from the #1 spot. He main evented WrestleMania 37 in a triple threat match for the Universal Championship alongside Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. He had engaging, compelling, long-term, and critically acclaimed feuds with top stars like Randy Orton, culminating in the greatest wrestling match ever, Seth Rollins, including a memorable Hell in a Cell match, and even formed and later battled the popular Judgment Day faction. These feuds felt significant, had deep storytelling, and often headlined major shows. He was consistently presented as a top-tier main event player, capable of challenging for the biggest championships and being involved in the most important storylines on Raw and SmackDown. Now fast forward to his AEW run, and he is being called Cope. He is currently dealing with a leg injury, adding to the ever-growing list of AEW stars currently injured. We don't know if his run there will improve when he comes back, but for now, his role feels more like a strong mid-card gatekeeper or a featured attraction rather than the world-class main eventer he was in WWE just a short time ago. The stakes feel lower and the storylines less impactful. I was genuinely surprised to see #3 on the list not out on injury, especially considering he had 2 back-to-back concussions in 2022 and another ankle injury after he returned. Honestly, at this point, AEW needs to start wrapping their wrestlers in bubble wrap before every match. It's getting ridiculous. You'd think they're running a hospital, not a wrestling promotion. Anyway, it's another Adam we're talking about, Adam Cole. It's a shame because Adam Cole's run in AEW really hasn't lived up to the massive hype surrounding his debut. When he first appeared at All Out in 2021, the Adam Cole Bay Bay chants were deafening. and everyone expected him to be an immediate main event player, dominating the company like he did in NXT. He had a hot start, sure, and the program with MJF, culminating in the main event of All In at Wembley, was fantastic. That match proved he could still deliver on the biggest stage. But almost immediately after, the injury bug bit him hard. First, it was a severe concussion that kept him out for nearly a year, and that was a really scary situation where he even had concerns about his long-term health. Then, right as he was getting back into the swing of things and building momentum again, he suffered that nasty ankle injury. We're talking multiple surgeries, a cadaver bone, and another extended period on the shelf. It's just been a constant cycle of building up, getting injured, and disappearing, which has really stunted his ability to establish consistent storylines or hold major championships for any significant length of time. While he did recently capture the TNT Championship in April 2025, it feels like his AEW career has been more about battling back from injuries than truly reaching the main event guy status many predicted he would achieve. It's tough to get invested when you're always wondering when the next injury will strike. Even though Miro has just returned to WWE as Rusev, he absolutely deserves a spot on this list of ill-fated AEW runs. In fact, his quick return to his previous company almost perfectly justifies him being here. It speaks volumes about how his time in AEW went down. His AEW tenure started with a bang, particularly his God's Favorite Champion run, with the TNT title in 2021, where he was an absolute beast and one of the most effective heels in the company. He had some impressive matches and truly felt like a star. However, after losing that title, things went downhill fast. He was largely absent from TV, with reports citing creative differences and various injuries, including shoulder and elbow issues, keeping him sidelined. He last wrestled for AEW in December 2023, but despite being healthy and cleared, he simply wasn't being used. It became radio silent on the creative front for him. He even requested his release, which was finally granted in February 2025. It's a classic case of unfulfilled potential. Miro had all the tools, charisma, in-ring talent, a strong character, but for whatever reason, AEW just couldn't or wouldn't figure out how to consistently utilize him. His AEW career ultimately sputtered out, leading him right back to the company he left 5 years prior. It's almost as if AEW has a secret society dedicated to finding new and exciting ways to sideline its talent. Honestly, for number 5, I actually had to Google if they were still even in AEW, and the answer is yes, somehow. We're talking about Ruby Soho, and her AEW run has unfortunately been a masterclass in how to take a talented, recognizable performer and just kind of do nothing particularly amazing with them. Look, her WWE run wasn't exactly legendary. She was often seen as the leader of the Riot Squad, but rarely got to truly shine as a singles competitor or hold any gold. It felt like she was consistently overlooked, even though she clearly had a punk rock edge and solid in-ring skills. So when she popped up as the Joker in the Casino Battle Royale at All Out 2021, the hope was palpable. This was it, freedom from WWE's booking, a chance to truly break out. She won that Battle Royale, got a title shot right away, and it felt like the momentum was there. And then, poof, it vanished faster than a free t-shirt at a wrestling show. She's been involved in various storylines, sure, like the Outcasts, and she's made it to the finals of a few tournaments, Owen Hart Cup, TBS Championship. But she always comes up short in the big matches. She's had a nasty broken nose injury that kept her out for a while, which certainly didn't help. But even when healthy, she just hasn't been consistently booked in a way that elevates her. It feels like AEW, despite the fresh start, managed to put her in a similar mid-card limbo that she often experienced in WWE. It's almost impressive how they consistently manage to not maximize the potential of their roster. So there you have it, our unfortunate who's who of AEW talent whose runs have been marred by injuries, perplexing booking decisions, or simply a frustrating failure to launch. From the perpetually sidelined to the underutilized gems, it's a stark reminder that even with an incredibly talented roster, the path to superstardom in all elite wrestling is often paved with more question marks than championships.